detaching from that experience or from that fantasy that we've lived up in your head is what helps you stay present at the moment. Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about something that everybody has gone through, and that's dealing with negative thought. Um, so what really constitutes as negative thoughts? It could be various different things. It could be things where you think about thoughts where you think about yourself. It could be thoughts where you think about someone else in a negative aspect, or it could be things where or situations in life that you did not expect to pan out, but it panned out in that way. Or it could be there were situations in the news and you feel quite negative, or you feel that whatever's happening around the world is quite negative to your standard. And this is something that's inevitable. Everybody goes through it. It's very human. It's not something that you can deny that if you've never had it. That just means that you're denying yourself from a very human experience. And so, yeah, I'm just going to be focusing on identifying your negative thoughts and a few steps on how you can catch yourself when you feel like you're having a negative thought and how you can overcome it. Um, so why does this happen? Why do negative thoughts occur? And there could be literally for various different reasons. It could be childhood trauma that has made you think the way you think. It could be the way you see yourself and the standards that you have put on yourself, or the expectations that you've put on yourself, and you're not able to meet those expectations. Or it could be other people putting those expectations on you. And you're not able to meet it, and so not only do you feel negative about yourself, but you feel negative about the other person who's put those expectations on you. Or it could be when, like I said before, it could be when you're serious or you're in a situation where you already fantasized about the situation and that was going to happen, but then it didn't happen, and then you feel very negative about yourself, or you feel very negative about the situation. Um, and yeah, it could also be just things that are happening around in the world. Um, Something that helps me understand myself or understand negative thoughts in general is that it is okay. It is absolutely okay to have those thoughts. It's, like I said before, it's a very human thing. It's something that you I have seen a lot of people try and stop themselves. Even I did. I did in the past. Tried to stop myself from thinking negative because I was like, oh, this is a negative thought, so I'm going to just stop it and suppress it. But that's not how it works, because we all know that when you suppress something, it just comes off in a different way, or it acts up in a different way, or it just, you're not able to suppress it and it just comes out in an aggressive way. And why would you want to do any of those when you can actually accept yourself for whatever you're thinking, accept those thoughts and understand it, understand where you're coming from, and then find ways on how you can overcome it and move on so you don't look back on those negative thoughts. An example of that, for me, while growing up, I had a lot of negative thoughts about the way I saw myself in the mirror, or the way um, my body looked, or the way I performed in school. And these were all things slash expectations that were put on me. Like I was supposed to look a certain way, I was supposed to think a certain way, I was supposed to have my grades in a certain way. And these were all expectations that were burdened upon me. Um, and when I couldn't meet those expectations, I used to feel negative about myself. And it's not something that I should have blamed myself for, but for the entirety of my life, I blamed myself for it. Um, only for me to realize that it was me that I was harming. It was me that needs to recognize what my potential is, that needs to recognize that, oh, I'm having a negative thought because these are the expectations that were set on me. And while some expectations are okay, it does not mean that we have to meet everyone's expectations. Um, and by me saying some expectations are okay, I mean expectations that meet needs. That because that's when you're trying to keep up the standard or level, or you're trying to level up skill. Um, but when it comes to others setting those expectations for you and you're not able to meet it, which means that you're, just resulting in you to have a negative experience against yourself and a negative experience in general, that just means that you've got to stop yourself. I had to stop myself in many instances. I had to literally rewire my brain because whenever I would catch myself thinking a negative thought about myself, I would start thinking, oh, where is this coming from? Like, I feel negative, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Um, so what can I do to rectify it? And in the process, I realized that, oh, so I'm able to understand where I'm coming from, to accept what, and if I'm able to reflect, and if I'm able to find ways to differently for that negative thought, I will be able to see myself in a better light. That helped. So, like I said before, for me growing up with those expectations that set on me about looking a certain way, feeling a certain way. I was, even my feelings were suppressed. I was not allowed to vocally, speak about my feelings, especially in school, uh, especially at home. Feelings were not really talked about. And so it was quite hard for me because I did want to speak about it, but I did not have that safe space. And so if you do not have that safe space, the one thing that I did that helped me was I journaled. I journaled a lot. I journaled my emotions. I journaled my feelings. Well, emotions are feeling like the same thing. So I journaled my feelings. I journaled every thought that I thought of, good, bad, sad, angry, everything. I journaled it because it was a way for me to channel my thoughts and my feelings if people were not able to hear me out because when I was younger, therapy was not as um, verbalized as it is right now. And so the chances are that if you're able to go through therapy, please do because therapy will help you understand your emotions, understand your feelings, and see where you're coming from. But for me, back then, journaling was the one way I could really be myself. And so I journaled everything, and I was able to see myself in a different way where I was like, oh, so I'm journaling this and these thoughts are coming out and this is coming out because of um, childhood suppression or suppression of my feelings or people not understanding my feelings. And it doesn't mean that everybody needs to understand you. No, it just means that for yourself to need someone to acknowledge. And for me, it was me. I had to find that in me. And you've got to find it in you also. But in terms of recognizing my negative thoughts, I was able to recognize it because of the fact that I was journaling. So if you're able to journal, if you're able to write it down and it's easier for you to put it down instead of sharing it with someone, do it because it really helps you recognize where your thoughts are coming from. The next we will talk about is dealing with negative thoughts in a situation that you anticipated or you were fantasizing in your head, but you were not able, or the outcome didn't pan out to the way you wanted it to be. And for that, I would like to say is detaching from that experience or from that fantasy that we've lived up in your head is what helps you stay present at the moment. And whatever I'm going to say does not mean that it's an easy thing to do. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. Everybody sets expectations. Everybody sets sets a thought in their head that they think that they're going to achieve, but sometimes reality is not like what it is. But detaching from the outcome is what helps. So, for example, for that is for me to start this YouTube channel, I previously in the past, what stopped me from creating videos is I was always thinking of, oh, will I get subscribers? Oh, will people watch my videos? Will people even care? Will I be able to like do stuff? And then, and that's the reason that led me to have a lot of like anxiety over creating a YouTube channel because I just fantasize about all of these different situations. Like, what if I don't get a subscriber count? What if people don't watch my videos? And that stopped me. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And so I had to take a step back and realize for myself, like, oh, I am already setting out or living a fantasy in my head where I don't even know if this is going to pan out as it is, right? I've got to detach from the outcome. I just wanted to create a video. It's not because I wanted to get subscribers or I want people to watch it. I don't even know if people are going to watch this video, but I want to do it. That's the purpose for me to do this video. And if somebody does view it and if this video does help them, that's great, because this is how I dealt with it. So, anyways, I was able to detach. So, the detachment is I was able to cut myself off from that fantasy, see it from point zero. That okay, what is my goal? My goal is I wanted to create a video. Am I doing that? Yep, I'm doing that at the moment. That's all that's needed. Um, does it mean that it's going to get me anywhere? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it will not. Who cares? What I care about is have I made the video and am I doing my best? Tick and a tick. And yeah, that's literally I should care about. The result or the outcome is just a side piece to your purpose. So if it means that, let's say you're trying to give trying to give an exam, you're really working hard for it, you really want to crack the exam, you really want to, get into the university by doing well in this exam, you've got to detach from the thoughts of like, oh, but like if I do this in the exam, will I get into this or will I not be able to, what if I fail, what if I do this? You've got to detach yourself from that outcome because you don't know. It's in the future. You don't know if this is going to happen. You don't know if you're going to fail. You actually don't even know if you're going to do well. But for you to focus on, what you've got to focus on is actually doing well, preparing well for the exam, giving your best, giving your 100%. And whatever the outcome is a side piece to what your purpose is. Your purpose right now is to do well in the exam. So why care about looking at the outcome? Because the outcome is just a side piece. It's just going to let you know if you've done well or if you've not. If you've done well, great. If you've not done well, what is your learning opportunity? That's what is important. If you're not able to get the outcome, so same for me with videos, right? If I'm not able to if I'm not able to create better videos or if I'm getting negative feedback, what can I do to make myself better? Does that mean I'm going to step away from my purpose of making videos? No. Does that mean you've got to step away from giving the exam or giving it the interview or, whatever you've set to achieve? No. Your purpose is to do your best and your purpose is to achieve that purpose, if that makes sense. Detach yourself from the art. And lastly, um, when you're having negative thoughts about news in general or news around the world is upsetting you or people are upsetting you or um, you just feel like everything around you is negative. Um, what are you doing to make the situation better? It could be that you just stop yourself from being in that situation. You can just back out. If you're in a group with negative friends, what are you doing? Like, are you taking a few steps back or are you able to, share out your feelings? Are they able to share their feelings with you? Are you in a good friendship? Or if you're looking at world news and you're upset about it, there's other than you doing whatever you can do by helping support or, you know, by vocalizing whatever you want to vocalize. Not everybody can create peace in the world. And the faster you accept that, the easier it gets. Um, because situations and people, because human will be people. Sorry, that didn't make sense. Humans will be human. There's bound to be a negative. There's bound to be a positive. What you focus on is what's going to make a difference. So if you focus on the positive and you become positive, it creates a ripple effect around you and creates a ripple effect even further. Because when you become a positive person, and this does not mean that you're going to become a saint and you're constantly positive. No, no human is like that. Like, and the faster you accept this, that's better. Nobody's the same. Everybody's going to have their own negative thoughts, and that's okay. But when it comes to, situations that you cannot control, it's not on you. It's not on you to create world peace. It's not on you. It's just on you understanding and accepting that humans will be humans. There will be negative around the world. What is it that you can do to contribute positively to the society? Are you having a good thought? Are you creating a difference by, spreading positivity? Because that that helps, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Um, and if, for example, you're surrounded by family that's quite negative, bringing you down. While I acknowledge that sometimes it's hard to step away from family, and to create your own path and to create your own life, it's hard for some people that you cannot leave it. Um, but you've got to set some goals for yourself, or you've got to recognize who are the people in your family that are negative and how best do you ignore or avoid until you get to a point where you can step away. I've had to do it in my life. It's quite hard. I've had to take steps in my life to step away from negative family member, and it's quite hard. And I felt quite guilty about it. But at the end of the day, if the people are not changing and they're not trying to be better people and they're constantly negative, it's not on you to change their perspective. But it's on you to recognize what's bringing you down, and it's on you to recognize when to step away, or it's on you to recognize when to walk out of a conversation that is not serving, any purpose other than negativity. So learning to recognize that is the first step. And the second step is to learn how to detach yourself from those conversations and walk away. Like I said, I've had to do that, and it's been quite eye opening for me because I was able to recognize how I'm feeling, how the changes in me happened with me stepping away from those negative family members. I was able to see me become a better person. I was able to have space for better thoughts. I was able to not view myself in a bad way. I was able to use my time instead of having negative conversations. I was able to use my time, doing other things. And so it was quite eye opening for me. And just realizing this was just, I was mind blown. And if this is something that you have to do, I'm not advocating that you have to leave your family members if every family member is negative. No, then it just means that you've got to learn how to deal with such negative family members. And if still they're being negative, then you've got to learn when is your tipping point. You've got to learn when to step away, and you've got to learn when to finally walk away. Um, it's not an easy task, and I truly, truly acknowledge that this is quite hard for a lot of people. I went through it myself, so I know how hard it is. And yeah, um, I just want to say that this is something that I do not want to, I do not want anybody or anyone to feel bad about themselves if they're having a negative thought. A negative thought is completely human. It's absolutely okay. And it's about how you um, step up, elevate, how you create a better environment by recognizing your negative thought, or it's by bettering yourself, or it's by knowing that some situations are just out of your control and you just have to accept it. And it's also about accepting, detaching from the outcome, like I said before. And yeah, these are my few cents. Um, I am grateful to have had the opportunity to make this video. I am grateful to have a platform to share my ideas. I'm grateful for anybody who is watching this and is giving their time into watching this and learning and feeling better or wanting to feel better. I really, really appreciate the time that you've taken to watch it. And I appreciate everything of you and these beautiful plants around me for the life that it gives. It's great. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day ahead or an evening or a week ahead. And I hope nothing but positivity to all of you. Thank you. Bye.